Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas being joined with the IBF super middleweight champion of the world, Caleb Plant. Caleb, we're just talking about it. Little clip that we did post-fight went viral. It's been a lot to be said. Give me your thoughts first off of what everyone is saying and your reaction to what everybody is saying about the clip and what you said about a Canelo fight.
I think there's been, a lot of say-sos, on both sides of the coin. I think a lot of people understand what I was saying and what I meant, and then a lot of people understand what I'm saying because they know boxing and how it works. And then there's some people who are just, a fan of Canelo. They want to see him fight and win, no matter whose expense it's at or how it happens, or how long they get to train or how long they get to rest. So, and you no matter what I say, I'll never be able to convince some people otherwise. So, it's a lot coming from both ways.
So what you were saying is you don't want to go into a fight if they were offered to you handicap because you already had a full camp, and you think that'd be unfair. It would be a situation like Sergey Kovalev found himself in, where he even admitted after, hey, I had no chance of winning this fight because they got me when I already had a hard fight, I already had a hard training camp, and I felt a handicap coming in.
Yes, absolutely. And Kovalev admitted to that, and I know then people say, well, Kovalev had a tough fight with Anthony Yarde, you didn't have enough tough fight. But I'm not talking about resting from the fight. I don't need to rest from the fight, and most times you don't need the rest from the fight. It's the training camp that you rest from, all the miles, all the sparring rounds, all the sprints and making weight, and oh well, Andy Ruiz, he did it, but that wound up being a fluke anyways. And on top of that, he don't have to make weight. So, he even said he doesn't do a discipline camp anyways. I do a discipline camp. So for me to do that for as long as I have, and then take these 2 weeks of February off and then train March and April just to fight May 2nd, anyone who knows boxing knows that that's not how it works. And, everyone used to fight 5 or 6 times. Yeah, but everybody stopped doing that too, and that's for a reason. And at the same time, everybody was doing it, so it's an even playing field. If it's just me doing it, then that's not an even playing field. So, I don't know.
For you, how long do you normally take to let your body heal, and how long does it take for you to be comfortable to go into a fight?
I mean, I'll rest for like a month and a half, maybe, tops. And but I'll be active in the meantime, whether we go hiking or camping or we travel for her work or whatever when she reports with you. And keeping my weight low, staying good. But like I said, you have to rest. You have adrenal glands. When you do high activity, it drains those. Those have to refill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get too scientific and stuff. I'm more of an old school boxing. The way I go my boxing is more old school anyways, but, those are scientific facts. I'm not ducking nobody. I never even said I don't want to fight Canelo. I do want to fight Canelo, but I'm not fighting him in May. That's all I'm saying, not in May.
Was an offer ever given to you to fight Canelo?
No, there was never even an offer. It was just you asking the question at the post-fight press conference. A secondary guy reached out to someone on our team, but an offer was never even made. So I'm not outpricing myself saying, Daniel Jacobs got 12 million, I need 12 million, or I need 15 million, because there was no offer even sent, so there's no offer to turn down. I'm just not fighting in May, so I'm fighting it.
I think they made it seem like there was an offer, that was already made to you, and that because of that you just said no.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not fighting in May, so I don't know. It's not because I'm ducking. It's not because I'm scared. If I fight Jose Uzcategui coming off a year layoff with a broken hand and hand surgery and no tune-up fight and letting him have a stay busy fight, I'm not scared of someone who comes from weight divisions below me. So you said you had an opinion, though. What would you have to say about it?
I agree with you needing the time and stuff like that, because if I were to put myself through a camp like that, you only know how your body feels. Ultimately, it's how the body feels, but I know what you do with camp through talking with Jordan and reading and stuff like that. Camps are brutal. The sparring, the accumulated damage. You do need time to go ahead and heal. And honestly, if I was in your shoes too, as an athlete, I would never put myself in a position that I knew that I'm disadvantaged, because This is just me. Like, I know like that opportunity will present itself if I keep winning.
Absolutely. And, you know, they say, well, Andy Ruiz did that, but Andy Ruiz wasn't a world champion. So he was jumping on an opportunity to become one. I don't have to jump on an opportunity to become a world champion because I'm already one, and I've already defended my belt twice. I've solidified myself as a world-class caliber boxer. So I don't have to just jump on, you know, a penny. You know, fans get so mad and, you know, hate when they think that a fighter is just all about the money. And now you have a fighter right here who's saying, I'm not just in it for the money. Otherwise, I would jump on this fight. I'm in it for legacy. I'm in it to become a superstar. I'm in this for the long haul. You know, I'm a real world champion. So then you do that, and then they're still mad. So, but like you said, you know, even someone with your boxing knowledge, knowing how boxing works, you have to let yourself rest and recover from training camp, or if you are in a tough fight, which I wasn't, you got to rest from that. But I'm talking about training camp.
No, it's the damaging thing for all fighters is the camp. It's the sparring. The sparring is what damages fighters.
The sparring, you know, the miles, just the making weight, just the mental, you know, fortitude that it takes to get through a camp, you know, a world-class camp. You know, it takes a lot of mental fortitude to keep it going at a high level. So you have to rest, you have to relax, and let your body recoup, and then, you know, come back and do it again. I'm all for fighting 3 times a year. I'm all for fighting, you know, I'm all for that. But anyone who knows boxing knows that that's completely unreasonable, you know? They're trying to get me. I've been in this for a long time. I know how boxing works, so.
What'd you make of De La Hoya's reaction and response to all this?
What saying what?
You'd never get a Canelo fight now because of this.
Didn't he have an opponent as of recent where there's Triple G or something like that, where Dosker said, I told him I don't want him to fight him. Didn't he say that recently? Like, man, I didn't want him to fight Triple G, or I didn't want him to take the fight with Kovalev. Is it? Yeah. He said that, right? But Canelo still fought him because that's what Canelo wanted. So Canelo said that he's fighting Billy Joe, and then he's fighting in Japan next. That's a lot different from what Oscar's saying. So maybe Oscar needs to get on the same page with his fighter, because it sounds like they're on 2 separate pages. And if he's fighting in Japan after this, who do you think he's fighting? You think he's fighting me? Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? So it sounds like he needs to get on the same page with his fighter. So,
in terms of you in the future, as you see the landscape, like, what do you see matchups popping up for you?
Well, me and my team over the weekend have sent out a legitimate offer to Callum Smith to try and make a unification fight. And we also sent out a legitimate offer, if that doesn't fall through, to Triple G to try and make, because he's moved up to 168. So I want big fights. I want fights that the fans will want. I want unification fights, but I'm just not going to be taken advantage of with silly stuff like fighting so close back to back. But we've sent an offer out to try and make a unification fight with Callum Smith. The ball's in their court, so if they want to fight me, they can get back to us. Same thing with Triple G.
Have you heard back from them? Have you heard any feedback on their end?
Have not. So, but fingers crossed.
With those 2 fights, I guess, when would they happen? What are you targeting? What month?
Probably sometime in the fall. You know what I'm saying? So September, October, somewhere in there, something like that.
Those are legit fights, man. Those are good ass fights.
Fights that I want. So I'm not someone who run or hides or ducks from anybody, and you know me. You know that's not my character. I want fights. Otherwise, I wouldn't send a fight to Callum Smith. Because what if it was a bluff? But what if he calls my bluff? Then I would be the chicken. I wouldn't set myself up like that. I want to fight Callum Smith next, because it looks like David Benavidez has a fight with the Yildirim replacement, because Yildirim got hurt. After he fights that Yildirim replacement, then it's a mandatory for him to fight Yildirim. So unless he pushes those aside and says he wants to come fight me, because that's a fight that I also want, if he don't do that, then he's got those 2 fights, which means he's booked up for a year. Canelo's fighting Billy Joe and then Murata. So what are the 2 big fights left for me? Triple G's a popular name. Let's get that going. Callum Smith's a popular name. He's a world champion. That's a fight that I really want. So I'm trying to make the best fights I can possible. So
if you do fight Callum, you're then will go to DAZN and fight him there?
It just depends. They got to say yes first, and then, you know, we can get to the finer details of when and where, and, you know, all the details that go into making a big fight. But first, we got to see if they're even interested in trying to make this happen, you know, because we are. So.
And you feel that you beat both of them, Smith and Golovkin?
Yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't try to make the fight. I think I'm the best super middleweight. walking the planet. I feel like I'm the most well-rounded. Not who has the most fights, because I've never had as many fights as the person I'm fighting. I'm talking about skills and the most well-rounded. I can fight on the inside, the outside. You see my combinations. You know I can pot shot. I got good defense, head movement, footwork, IQ, ring generalship. I feel like I can do it all. So I feel like I'm the most complete 168-pounder. But I don't want the fans to take my word for it. I want to show them through trying to make these bigger fights. So
I hope they say yes, because me as a fan of boxing, those are tremendous fights, and I hope you do get them.